Hello and welcome to DCP SideQuest episode number 10859. I was going to say 89. What? Why my brain?
108.59.
My brain the past
Look
month. I've been just scrambled my brain for the past month. I don't know what's going on.
What's the numerology on 108.59?
859. Honest, I can do the maths. I honestly can. It's just, Briar, what stores do you go to in the mall?
I don't go to the mall. I will. That's not true because I have gone to the Apple store recently, which is in the mall. But they deliver now, and they deliver same day. Actually, they deliver like within the hour now.
They do?
Yeah,
wow.
Within the hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I ordered
a Mac Pro,
a watch band for my Apple Watch. That was the last thing I bought from the Apple store. I buy the Pride watch band every year.
Yeah.
They come out with it during Pride Month. And they delivered it within the hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is what I was just thinking.
Fee.
Yeah, there's a fee for it. Yeah. I was just thinking about the last time I went to the mall was for the Apple store, but I haven't.
Yeah.
I know there's something nice about going to the Apple store because, they make it all, Apple-y in there if you're into that type of thing.
That's true.
If you're an Apple hater, then it's like the antithesis of anything.
There's a Microsoft store too, I guess. You can go there.
Exactly.
I don't think there's a Linux store.
Yeah, a Linux store. But we were just talking about there's no way in hell I'm going to go to the mall right now.
No. The Apple store is kind of hellish because it is always packed.
Yeah, always packed, right?
Yeah. And now you have to make an appointment to even buy anything.
Right.
Or the last time I tried to go buy something, I tried to just walk in to buy I think a MacBook.
Yeah.
And they're like, you can't just walk in here like a Linux user. You gotta make an appointment.
What, you think this is Microsoft?
Yeah.
You're just gonna come in and buy anything you want?
Right.
you gotta fill out a form, my dude.
I went to Macy's because I had to buy my wife one of those mixers, those KitchenAid mixers.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured, well, it's just easier to just go get it.
It wasn't, was it?
No, it was a mistake. I should have ordered it. The problem is, I have this thought, I want to have local businesses stay in business.
Yeah.
So I try to go to local businesses. Macy's doesn't really count, and neither does Apple on that.
Yeah, I was going to say,
you know
anything
what I'm saying?
I don't really look at the mall as a local business type of place,
Yeah, I mean the local mall. So the local mall is what put Main Street out of business, though, right? It's all those local stores you used to have on Main Street.
Right.
Those got shut down by the local mall, and now, ironically, the local mall is getting shut down by Amazon. So it's
vicious
it all
cycle.
comes back around.
They come up and
reap what you sow, mother.
I feel you on that though. I definitely try to support mom and pop shops around, especially coffee shops and all that. Prefer.
Yeah.
You know who did support mom and pop shops a lot is Call of Duty YouTubers back in the day, trying to get them to give them the game a week early.
That's true.
That's
you can find a locally run GameStop or not a GameStop, but a game store, a video game store. Then you had a pretty good shot at it.
You did, yeah. I remember group chats of people being like, "I found somewhere that's willing to give it early." It was pure madness.
Craig's
yeah, either they didn't
games.
know that there was a street date, or they were willing to break it for an extra $50.
Yeah,
right. Make the sale. Anything for the sale, man.
Hey, it's hard out there for a local businessman. Yeah, you used to be able to make a good living just having a shop on the side of a road somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case anymore. Now, all those jobs got
thanks Bezos.
Up. Yeah, thanks Bezos. Now you got to pee in cups while you're delivering Amazon deliveries.
Yeah, while he donates $100 billion over his lifetime.
What has our convenience cost us? Everything.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Real quick, do you see that he's announced that he's giving away his fortune basically over his lifetime? He gave Dolly Parton
$100. Yeah.
Dolly Parton got $100 million to donate to charities.
Yeah. Dolly Parton is a wonderful woman. She will use that money well.
Yeah.
We should all be like Dolly Parton.
Dolly's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Dolly
she is incredible.
Stand-up woman. She's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I had no idea about that until probably like a year ago or 2 years ago. I was
Really?
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it just happened to be like watching a documentary about, I think it was Linda Ronstadt, and she had mentioned Dolly Parton in it quite a bit. So I started watching Dolly Parton documentaries, which of course there's a bunch of Dolly Parton music. I'm like, oh, this is Dolly Parton song. I had no idea. This is a great
Dude,
song.
she is a
And then I started listening to more Dolly
songwriter.
Parton and learning more about her. She's amazing. Yeah. She's got so many songs that you didn't know were her because she sold them and other people sang them, or they got redone by people. Unbelievable.
And wrote them really fast too. Like she wrote
mega big on charity.
Yeah.
Mega big on like funding libraries and all sorts of stuff. She grew up with nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Super smart. You know, like she
had
this facade of kind of being like an idiot, you know, but like complete opposite of who she really is.
It's not.
Yeah. She played it like perfectly for the media eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
she won't appear without like makeup and hair and everything because she likes to be able to go out in public without it and not get recognized. Apparently, she doesn't get recognized without it.
That's smart.
That
right?
is brilliant.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like the Superman disguise. Like you think that just changing the suit would that dude's Superman. No.
I guess, yeah. Have you seen Dolly Parton with just like in a ponytail? You know,
no.
Even with the makeup and a ponytail, I probably wouldn't recognize her.
Yeah.
Damn. What a pioneer.
Yeah.
Amazing. This is welcome to the Dolly Parton podcast.
You know who loves Dolly Parton? The God of War.
Does he?
Kratos.
Yeah.
I feel like
and Tar. Or Tyr, whatever it is.
Yeah. I think Tyr would be down with Dolly Parton.
Tyr would be down for Dolly,
right.
yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Tyr would definitely be
down. Kratos would grumble constantly.
Oh, saving the children. When do I get to kill them?
These children, when are they going to learn their lesson?
So delicious, yummy children. Oh, wait, that's a different game. We talked a little bit about God of War on the Thursday show.
Briefly. I hadn't played it yet.
Very briefly.
So I played it over the weekend.
I was 2 hours, 3 hours deep, but now I'm about 15 hours deep, and I'm stunned how much I'm loving this game.
Yeah?
So far, I mean, I think this game could take anywhere from like 25 to 40 hours, depending on how many like side quests and stuff you do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm doing all of them. So I'm not sure how far in I am.
Could you tell us what realm you're in? I don't think that's much of a spoiler because we know we're visiting all the realms. It's in the ads.
Yeah, I don't know the names of the realms. They're kind of, that's kind of just like take a bunch of dice with letters on them and throw them on the table.
Throw Heim on
the end. A little Heim. They throw a Heim in there. Elfenheim.
But like, no spoilers. I just teamed up with somebody who was previously an enemy.
Okay.
And we just fought a dragon together, which was cool.
Nice.
Or a small dragon with a different name.
Yeah.
A Dragonheim. But like I didn't know, like at the beginning of the game, honestly, I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm feeling this too much. Like I might have gotten my God of War fix with the 2016 game. Was it 2016 that came out? 2017? 2018. Okay. God of War 2018. I was kind of thinking, I might have just got my fix. Like older teenage Atreus is a little bit annoying, like a teenager is.
He's a teenager.
And like I felt like we were just kind of rehashing some of the same stuff we'd already done. But once the story started picking up, once I started like getting into the combat again and kind of learning my way around it, and honestly, once I started getting all the characters assembled and the story really started to get going, I'm so in. I'm 100% into this game. Like just having a ball, like all the way through. It's been great so far, and I'm about 15 hours in.
Nice. I'm not that far in, but I don't know. This game is on a strange spectrum for me because I absolutely loved the first game, and I felt like I remember the combat having this acceleration to it that kept on building on it. Also, I felt like the enemy pacing in the previous game was different to this one, and I don't know if that's just me having rose-colored glasses or something like that, or rose-colored brain images. But the story, I think, is fantastic. Like, I am really enjoying Ragnarok's story, and it's just so cool seeing how they've interwoven these characters and these discussions about, mythology and all that. I'm absolutely loving that. And I think it's really funny that you're annoyed over Atreus, and I'm annoyed over Kratos.
Yeah.
Kratos is like being the asshole dad, and I'm like, come on, man.
I felt
like
that too.
Yeah, this kid's gotta like learn. He's gotta express himself and grow up and like make some choices and stuff. Like that's my takeaway. And I don't feel like he's being a dumbass all the time. I mean, he's a teenager, so he's got to make the choices. Anyways, that's besides the point though. So the story, like, really, really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's really good.
I do not like the combat.
Same.
No, really.
No, I think.
And you liked it in the first game.
I absolutely liked it in the first game. This one, I feel like, here's this one enemy. Here's how it's got a lot of health. Now let's kill that same enemy 20 times. And maybe have a few waves of the same enemies show up in this one area. And it doesn't feel satisfying to just rip through these enemies. So much so, I was like, I don't think I like playing on a harder difficulty. Because it's just spongy enemies. They're the same enemies, more sponge. Boss fights are cool, obviously, but that's
boss fights are great.
Yeah, that's always how it's been with God of War. It's like these epic boss fights where you're suddenly going into a quick time event to rip a head off or get close to ripping a head off, and then having another discussion like the Thor fight and all that. That's in the beginning, so you'll see the Thor fight right away. So not really much of a spoiler on that. But
on our thumbnail.
Yeah. So
the fight was great.
Those are epic, right? Like that's what God of War is. But like the in between, like, oh my God, I do not like the pacing in the combat at all. Every time I'm like, okay, let's clear this wave of enemies I've already seen a bunch of times.
Yeah. So I got death threats over the weekend on Twitter because
you didn't like it.
If you say anything that is just giving criticism, even if you say that you like the game, to a Sony game,
you like the game
specifically.
Sony, yeah.
Yeah, like The Last of Us.
Sony
Same thing happened with The Last of Us. I had and let me just say that if you are I thought the console warrior thing was a meme at this point. Oh boy, it's not. Oh, no. People have dedicated their entire lives to defending a company that doesn't care about them. It's very weird.
They were comparing Vampire Saviors to God of War Ragnarok graphically because that's new on Xbox.
Oh my God. 5. Lord, help us. It's really bad. Anyway,
oh my God.
I put out a tweet, which I thought was clearly not a scientific thesis of the percentages of action in the game, but I digress. I said, God of 95% puzzles, 5% war.
Oh my God, that's so inaccurate. It's like 94%. How could you even?
It was that. I mean, this was the thing. It was like,
callous.
I was like, I picked 95% because I thought it was clearly obvious that it was a joke.
Not on the internet. Nothing's funny on the internet.
Who's mad about that? It's a joke.
Everyone.
Clearly.
So many people. But so yeah, my thing with God of War is that I think the writing is incredible. Like the characters are talking and I'm laughing like the whole way.
Visuals are stunning, right?
The visuals are beautiful. Like the epicness of just how cinematic some stuff feels is incredible. But for me, the pacing of when I'm doing combat, it always feels like I get a little tease of combat. And then it's like, okay, here's do a puzzle, walk and talk, cutscene, puzzle, little tease of combat. And then I never feel like I'm getting into just enjoying the combat. It feels like a lot of stop and start.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I think that's what keeps me so engaged is because it's constantly like I'm doing one thing for a few minutes and then the next thing, like, I do combat for a few minutes and I'm doing a puzzle for a few minutes and then we're doing the walk and talk for a few minutes and then we're doing, it's just like, or then I'm like trying to figure out like, how to do this, open this chest with the stupid runes, like it's just constantly, I'm trying to do different things over, it kind of like circles through them. I think that's what keeps me so engaged. Cause if I was doing that combat for like, let's say 40 minutes straight, I think I would get really sick of it. But because it's a few minutes and then I cycle on to a different activity and then you move realms pretty quickly too, so that you get different enemies. Like it feels like it's just keeping it fresh for me.
Interesting.
Yeah, for me, I just feel like there's just not enough combat, and maybe it's my mistake playing on God of No Mercy. I probably should have gone on Give Me God of War, so that I'm spending more time doing the combat. But yeah, I feel like I move through the combat so quickly, and then it's like, oh, here's like 2 hours of doing something else.
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh, when do I get to have the combat again? Oh, it's gonna be a while.
Interesting.
I should say also, I'm currently on the part, not a spoiler. I'm currently on a yak.
Nice.
And I've heard that this part has lost quite a few people.
Yeah, it's a little slow, and it's kind of out of the blue too. It's like, oh, this is like a really long part of this game.
Yeah.
That, doesn't feature my favorite people.
Oh, for Briar especially. Yeah.
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 Oh man. Yeah,
I played that through that last night. I was like, this is getting a little long, but thankfully I got through it and got to a good action sequence. Actually, the way that wraps up is kind of fucking badass.
Nice. Yeah, I'm at a weird position with this game because like there's so much of it that I really like, and then like it's weird for me. I just don't think the combat's interesting. Like I've seen I feel like I've seen all of that in the first God of War, which isn't a problem. Like obviously it's good visually and all that, but the way the enemies have responded, I don't know. Maybe the Elden Ring thing has spoiled me so much. Like I can't have the same enemy coming at me over and over. And then
Elden Ring is a very different thing for sure.
It is. Yeah.
It is a very different game. And that's actually what I've noticed a lot is if there's people who their favorite kind of games are combat focused games, then they're enjoying God of War
and
less.
I really agreed with you there.
Oh, yeah.
You said, what did you say exactly? You're like, if you like Tomb Raider and Last of Us,
Uncharted, Last of Us, yeah,
then you're gonna really like this. But if your favorite games are, I can't remember what you gave an example as like a more combat oriented, this might not be for you. And I thought that made a lot of sense to me.
It's not that it's bad.
It's not bad. This is the thing that makes it hard, right,
great.
Hefty? Because you're like, it's a really great experience, but
like if I played this 7 years ago, I'd be like, this is incredible. But like, things have evolved and changed where it does feel like the same system is in place from the past. Obviously there's the heritage of the previous God of War games, like the originals, and then the last one in 2018. But there's just something about the formula that feels like I can feel the formula in the mix. And I think
it doesn't feel like a sequel. It feels like more of the same game.
Yeah, that's why like Elden Ring has this like spell on me when I play it, even though I understand like what's happening. It feels like a spell. With God of War, I'm like, okay, here we go, another wave of enemies. Yep. Okay, there's this wave of enemies. I don't mind solving the puzzles. I like solving puzzles, so I'm like, cool. Throw the axe here, do the thing, yank the thing over here. Yeah. Cool. But like, I don't know. Then you get to the boss fight, and it's like, all right, boss fight.
Yeah, the boss fights is where I actually think the combat kind of shines more, because when you have a bunch of enemies, especially when there's like little lizards nipping at you, it can be a lot harder.
Though.
I know.
Fuck them lizards.
That's what I'm saying. It's just annoying. Just annoying.
It's hard to pull off the cool stuff, right? Like when you're charging something up, or you're trying to do this, you can do that more in a one-on-one situation, but in a lot of enemies,
Yeah, that's actually one of my biggest complaints is that those lizards, I thought I was done with them when I went to the next realm, and they were back. I was like, come on. These fucking lizards are in all the realms.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
It just feels like padded enemies to me. That's partly why I get annoyed at it. Like, these guys again?
I did notice, though, that, like, besides Thor at the very beginning, like, there wasn't a lot of, like, the big bombastic, like, huge, like, God of War moments, like, early, whereas you usually get, like, they kind of front load that stuff to really make an impression. But this one, maybe it's just because the story needs to be told in a certain way. They are going hard on the story, but it just felt like a little slow getting these like mega bosses. Like in God of War, we fought, I mean, the Colossus of Rhodes, for God's sake. I mean, it's
epic.
Ridiculous shit has happened. We fought Zeus. It just felt like just a little slow getting going with the big fights.
Yeah. I haven't finished it. Like, In fact,
I can't wait. I'm obsessed with it. I'm gonna keep playing it all week. Nice. At this point, I didn't think this game could possibly compete on my game of the year list going into it, but man, it is. I am really enjoying this. I'm having a blast.
Do you think is it a contender for game of the year for you? Is it like serious?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is my kind of game too. It was like Watts was saying, if you're a big fan, Uncharted or Tomb Raider, which I am. I'm a huge fan of that kind of game. So, and this is definitely one of those.
I'm probably at the point where I don't know if I'll finish it. I haven't like written it off completely, right? Because like you said, Tefty, I am enjoying a lot of the parts of the game, but I think I'm just not having fun playing it. Like I think I could get just as much out of this game by watching someone play it than me playing it.
I had the exact same feel
a little bit. Just blow through that combat.
Dude, that's what I did. Like towards the last hour of my session, I was like, I don't think it's worth fighting these enemies this way because it's laborious. Like I get it, more of the same. The boss fights are the only thing I would actually care about on that. But you can't bump them back up after that. All right, maybe you can. I can't remember. So yeah, but I really like the story. I want to know more of the story. That's how I felt too, Watts. I was like, man, I could kind of just put this up and just watch somebody play this.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool too. Like right at the beginning, as soon as you boot it up, it gives you like these accessibility options.
Yeah.
So you don't even see the title screen before you are selecting like how you want to play this game, like your preferences as far as, like, I mean, there's so many. There's like, the classic one, are you inverted on the right thumbstick? Are you, like, how do you feel about like tapping the button repeatedly as opposed to just holding it down? Do you want a little bit of aim assist with this axe? Like, it really gets deep into some accessibility options as well. Like even before you start the game, and then once you do start the game, you're kind of ready to go. And the title screen just is it's like the opening shot of the game. You just go from there, and it plays that trick again that the first one played, where it's like one continuous uncut like camera shot from beginning to end, which is, it's fun to see them play with that because, obviously they gotta like kind of try and trick you a little bit, but it's fun. It's, once you know that the trick is going on, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh, another problem I had also that kind of makes my eyes glaze over is the menu system and like interacting with I just don't care about the loot. You know what I mean?
I feel like that about every game now. Like, I don't care about loot anymore. Can we just like get over it?
So there's a way to make it happen, and I think the first God of War slowly introduced you into some of the elements, or the first remake, or the 2018 God of War. That's what I mean. Slowly introduced you to elements. At least I recall it slowly introducing you to elements. This one, it's like everything's up on the screen, and it's like just shoved in front of you. It just feels that way. Like I don't feel like the UI is.
It's almost like they assumed that you played this game like last month, not 4 years ago.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Which that's kind of on me.
Super familiar with this.
Yeah, it's a bit on me. I could have refreshed myself for sure, since it is technically like a sequel to a game that like they play very similar. So, but yeah, I was like, man, this menu system just makes me want to get out of it as fast as possible.
I get that designers, they want you to be like looking around in every nook and cranny for stuff, but it's like you just get one of the accessibility options that I did turn on is when you walk over stuff, you pick it up. You don't have to like hit a button to pick shit up because this is just one of those buttons where you just walk around picking shit up all over the goddamn place.
Yeah.
It's like,
I know. You kill a boss dude and you have to mash the circle button a bunch of times to make sure you pick everything. Like just
you can turn that off so you just pick up shit.
Yeah, I put auto pickup on right away.
I'm just now learning about this, and that makes me very happy because I've been disgruntled over that.
It's like every game it feels like is doing this now. It's like, well, we got to have this like intricate like upgrade path, and like you got to get 4 different materials to upgrade each different weapon and each piece of armor. Like it's a lot to even keep track of, to the point where I stopped keeping track of it, and then like sometimes I'm standing at one of the blacksmiths. I'm like, oh, hey, this thing's got a little icon. I can upgrade it now. And that's basically all I care about now.
Well, certain games I respect having the stat screen and having all these options. Like Destiny, I want that. I want to see the progression of all these different things. But when I'm playing like the story-focused game, I don't need to stumble upon it in the UI to make sure I upgrade my axe or my blades or whatever. Like, I'd rather just something in there is like, you need to place your blade on this and it gets better.
Yeah.
And then I see
Well,
the
to
blade.
be fair,
you know?
it does kind of like it when you go to a one of the blacksmiths, it does like flash.
Yeah.
Like, ding, ding, ding. You can upgrade this now. Ding, ding, ding,
Mhm.
ding.
Yeah. No, it
Which is-
definitely tells you, which it needs to, because otherwise I would have just glossed right over and been like, okay,
Yeah.
options.
But I kind of miss the days instead of having to like craft everything and then upgrade it. Kind of miss the days when you just find shit and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use this now.
Mhm.
You know, like this is
Yeah,
awesome.
I think that's what made me really kind of not care about getting to those chests anymore that I see everywhere, because there's just going to be hack silver and some like crafting materials.
Yeah.
Whereas if
Yeah,
there
but
was
some
an
of them
option
have
of
like
getting
awesome shit.
something cool.
Some
Do
of them
they?
have,
Because
like,
haven't
new
found any
moves.
yet.
Yeah. Some of them have like new moves in them.
Like secret
Or
hidden chests, or is it a chest that's kind of just along the way of the main?
yeah,
campaign
secret
stuff
hidden
in there?
chests. Yeah, like you got to like
Oh, okay.
go out of your way
That's
to
cool.
find them. Yeah, yeah, but you're right. Some of them just have like cash, but some of them have like, oh, this hilt for your axe gives you this like new ability.
Yeah.
Like you could have just completely walked by this, or
Mhm.
this new armor can do. There's this like kind of open world-ish desert that I found, and there was all these different spots around the desert that you could kind of just go and explore. And each one was either like a puzzle or a combat. And if you completed each one, it gave you like a full set of armor. Which
Nice.
all kind of made like outfitted you with like a certain set of abilities that were kind of copacetic.
Nice.
But you could totally pass by those, not even see them.
That's what I'm worried
Yeah.
about. I kind of feel like some of that I'm doing because I just don't want to engage with the combat in certain areas, or like,
Yeah.
because I want
My
story.
thing is, I reached a part, which again, no spoilers, but there was what, in my opinion, quite a convoluted puzzle to open a door, and then right after you had to open another door, and I was like, at that point, I stopped reading the lore because I was reading all the lore. I stopped going for chests because the puzzles aren't hard. They're very consistent, and they're more like inconveniences than like, here's a cool puzzle for me to figure out.
Yeah.
Plus, the NPC, as soon as you look in the direction of the puzzle, is like, so let me break it down for you. Here's what you gotta do.
That is also an option in the settings that you can turn
Turn off
that
the
on and
hints?
off.
Can you turn it off
Yeah.
completely? Because I heard
Yeah, I
a lot of
believe
people
so.
saying you couldn't. It just adds like
Oh,
an
okay.
extra amount of time for you to figure it out before they say something.
The timer's
Oh, okay.
ticking for before
This is
it's
ticking.
like, hey brother, here's what you got to do.
Yeah, I've liked some of the puzzles so far. Like, and none of them have really bothered me. But that being said, you know, I do tend to gravitate toward these games. I've played all the Tomb Raider games. I've played all the, you know, Uncharted games, Last of Us, like that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like, especially the way, you know, Sony seems to be one of the last companies making these. So I'm always very excited when they come out with a new one. It's like these big first-person experiences.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they're my jam, and I'm having a good time with this one for sure.
I'm very happy these games exist for sure. I think,
Same.
like I told you guys before, that I didn't really like God of War 2018, and
Right.
going into this, like I knew that, but there's nothing else really happening at the moment, and I'm like, it's a game that everyone loves, so I might as well give it a try. And ultimately, I like combat focused games, and even the combat in this game, I haven't been loving. Like the Blades of Chaos, it feels like I'm just hitting something with a wet noodle.
Right? Like,
Don't know. It's really weird. So I've just been sticking to the axe because that feels more
Yeah, the axe is
punchy.
way cooler. Yeah.
man, when you got the
I
blades,
realized-
when you got the blades in the 2018 one, it just felt like such an upgrade. And I just don't feel that in this. I don't know.
It's just
Yeah,
it's
it's
this
just
little
like it's like paper cuts. I'm like, what in the hell? Anyways.
I realized too that I have played all of the God of War games. I was like, I gotta watch a lore video. I
Nice.
got like an hour into this game, I was like, I don't remember anything that's fucking going on here. There's like a little like recap on the title screen, but it's 30 seconds long and it's so brief and there's so much going on in the first game that like I decided to just turn on a YouTube video, like give me the God of War story. And the one I selected accidentally was like an hour and 15 minutes long.
Nice.
Started at the fucking beginning with like the prequels and the comics for God of War. I'm like, well, fuck it. You know, get some popcorn. Let's watch this and see where it goes. And I realized that, oh, I've watched all of it. I've played all of this. Like I didn't set out to play all the God of War games, but like I just did.
They've been popular.
The PSP ones. I didn't play the PSP ones.
Same. I skipped those as well. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting franchise. I'm curious how things are going to end in this. Because
I can't wait to see where the story goes. I'm really.
Mm-hmm.
I like the first game was so compelling. The story of the first game and like this relationship between Kratos and Atreus was so well played and so complicated, and it was so fun to watch. It's so, you know, just so absorbing. I didn't know where they could go with it, and they definitely go a different direction, and it's definitely really fun to watch.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's a really, really good experience game for the story and the environment and the voice acting. It's all done really well.
The voice actor who plays Kratos has been posting dad jokes on his Twitter in the voice of Kratos.
Nice. I wish you'd do that in the game. I know it's out of character, but
yeah, instead he's just grunting all the time. Be like, Atreus.
What about when you pop your ult? Rah! Rah! It's the same Rah. It's like Rah. That's great.
Atreus is always having some sort of thoughtful discussion, and he's like, shut up.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this never.
The Game Awards got announced. Or the nominees did.
Nominees, yeah.
Sure did.
Yeah. You can't guess 2 of the games in Game of the Year.
Vampire Survivors. Yeah.
You know, you want to know what? Vampire Survivors isn't anywhere.
It's not anywhere?
Nowhere.
Wow.
Nowhere.
Which
I was very confused about. I was like, are they just not treating it as that it came out this year? But
yeah, maybe.
But like obviously 1.0 did come out, and also when we look at best adaptation, Arcane is in there. And Arcane didn't come out this year. So if we're just making up rules, why is Vampire Survivors?
Yeah, how are you gonna snub the survivors, man?
Their dates are a little weird. They like start at like November of last year, right? Because
wouldn't that mean God of War can't be in it?
I don't know. I mean, it's obviously there. They probably play it pretty fast and loose, right?
Yeah, it's a little weird that like God of War just came out and suddenly it's on that list. You know?
I mean, Vampire Survivors is definitely my most played game of this year. No, that's not true.
I put some time into it.
Elden Ring is my most played, but it's up there.
I finally pulled myself back and like I feel like I have clarity, but I feel the urge.
It's so fucking addictive having it on your Steam Deck, isn't it?
Dude, it's insane. I'm like, one more time. Yeah. That was a good build, but I could do better.
I got a few minutes. I'll just play another round.
Yeah. I know. You think a few minutes and it's like, well, of course you're just going to properly set up your character and have to spend 30 minutes on this.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I should go to bed.
Oh, so bad. Luckily, the suspend feature on the Steam Deck works great for that. So you can just
pause it does.
Pick it back up.
So what is Game of the Year? What's the list?
Game of the Year is, do they put it at the top? They do. A Plague Tale Requiem. Elden Ring. God of War Ragnarok. Horizon Forbidden West. Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3, really?
Yeah.
Game of the Year.
I haven't played Plague Tale, but I've heard it's really good. I haven't played Xenoblade either, and I heard that's pretty good. But Game of the Year good? That's a stretch, I think.
I've heard it's really good.
Stray was amazing. Yeah. I enjoyed the vibe. I would not consider it in the same category as Elden Ring. Not even remotely.
I mean, isn't Elden Ring kind of a lock-in?
For me, it is. I know some people are just not into that. Like they like this, like me and the combat on God of War. And I know some people are going to be like, they don't want to play Elden Ring because of the combat.
Sure.
Or the storytelling in it isn't very.
I think that would be
direct.
a mistake because the combat gets a lot easier if you let it. Like that game is not the same difficulty as.
Some people don't want to follow a guide to make it easy, you know. So I understand that aspect, but man, there is quite a variant. It just feels like this was a year that had a lot of pockets of no releases.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
And it shows on the Game of the Year stuff.
I don't know. I think there's also the recency bias, right? Where people will be just coming off finishing God of War Ragnarok, being like, "Oh my god, what an incredible experience!" That they'll just be like, "Well, clearly I'm voting for that."
Elden Ring might be one of my favorite games of all time, though.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, like Elden Ring is a game that comes along and does things so incredibly that you find it once a decade.
Yeah, it's a game of the decade type of nominee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a game I dreamed about when I was like, it's the game I was imagining when I was playing Zelda, right? It's like, imagine, like, it's unbelievable. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I can't imagine. When we do our Game of the Year show, we're going to have to, like, put in some kind of, like, the Elden Ring edition. Because
maybe I'll finally finish.
It's going to be very interesting. If everybody knows our top pick, it's going to be Elden Ring.
Maybe it's time. Maybe I need to pick back up Horizon Forbidden West and finally finish it.
Yeah, I kind of dropped that, too, and had a hard time
Elden
going
Ring.
back to it. Yeah.
That's the thing. Elden Ring is the game that ruins games for you, which doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, it's the game's Ragnarok. It's coming to destroy all the games.
Are there any other? I know there's so many different categories. What are good categories?
A lot of them
probably.
Have Elden Ring.
Well, so Destiny got a couple nominations in here for best ongoing game and best community support. So Elden Ring's in Elden Ring.
What else is in best ongoing game?
Best ongoing has Apex Legends, Final Fantasy, Fortnite, and Genshin.
All the same games as last year. What won last year?
Probably Final Fantasy.
So what do you think will win this year?
Probably Final Fantasy. Well, although Genshin Impact wasn't in there last year, and Genshin Impact is a huge game.
Genshin Impact wasn't there last year?
I don't think so.
It was
not
definitely
an
out
ongoing game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Didn't it come out September of last year? I don't remember. We got Best Indie here. Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah, Best Indie is interesting.
Yeah, Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, Sifu, Stray, and Tunic.
See, this is a good category
That's a
right
strong list of games right there.
Yeah. This is more
I saw this and I was like, man, if this doesn't show you that indies are amazing right now.
Yeah. The only one I didn't play is Neon White.
I haven't played that either. I've heard it's fantastic. Obviously, I've heard it's fantastic. It's on the Game of the Year.
Best Indie.
Yeah. I've heard people say specifically, too, it's a good Steam Deck game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I might have to download that after the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Cult of the Lamb was amazing. Sifu was fun. I don't know if I would give it Best Indie for me. Stray would definitely fall in this category. And Tunic, for some reason, didn't connect with me, even though it was gorgeous, indie looking.
Tunic, for me, was in the wake of Elden Ring. I just...
Yeah, I know.
Nothing else could satisfy that itch after Elden Ring. It was like...
Yeah.
So what I noticed with Tunic was the balancing to get you going was very like front-loaded. Like it took a lot to get areas open and to do stuff. And I was like, I feel like the pacing should be just a few clicks faster. Kind of like on Metroid, the most recent Metroid, how they had that dialed in where it was like upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. And you're like, next, let's keep going. Like Tunic needed that from me, so it didn't quite hit. Yeah.
Oh, Vampire Survivors is here for best debut indie game.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad it's somewhere.
Yeah. Didn't get best indie game, though.
Best debut indie.
They had to make another indie category?
Yeah.
If that doesn't show you how awesome indies are.
Yeah, but Neon White, Stray, and Tunic are in there as well.
I think is this like because it's the first game from that studio? I assume that's
Must be.
Oh,
what
by a
that
new
means.
independent studio. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Well, that's nice. Vampire Survivors absolutely should have been in Best Indie.
It should have been in Best Indie. Yeah.
Mhm.
I am glad they have another indie category because it's gonna get to the point where we can't just have one category for all the good indies that come out.
Good news, Diablo Immortal did get nominated for Best Mobile Game. So don't worry. I know all the
Fingers crossed.
the Immortal fans out there were like sweating it.
Fingers crossed.
Be like, I put $100,000 into that game. I hope it wins.
Dude, that game has made so much money. It's so sad. It's just awful. It makes me so upset. Eat spaghetti.
Can I tell you what category made me go, huh?
Oh yeah.
Best action game. You have Bayonetta 3, Neon White,
Okay.
Sifu, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Modern Warfare 2. I was
Modern
like,
Warfare 2. What?
Modern Warfare 2 in best
It's a first-person
action
shooter.
I don't think of those as action games when I
No.
I mean,
they're
what's more
action
action
games.
than shooting shit?
I mean, you're right. But it just was weird.
It's like, why not put
it?
Apex in there? And like,
What
Yeah,
would
like,
you guys vote for on that list?
Probably Sifu for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I'd
Turtles
go
is a little
Sifu.
short, even though it was really fun. But
It
Sifu,
was
I
super fun.
think Sifu for the action is like, it's pretty cool.
I enjoyed.
It is a
Sifu
pretty cool
lot.
game.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Shredder's Revenge, but yeah, I think I'd go Sifu as well.
Yeah, it was just
I
a
haven't
little
played
too
Bayonetta
short.
3 or Neon White.
It was just a little too short and a little too samey for Shredder's Revenge.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
the problem with the beat 'em ups, right? It's like
Yeah.
walk straight, hit punch. I didn't think it was the combat was as good as Streets of Rage 4 either.
That's how I felt too. Yeah, after playing through, I was like, it was fun. I'm glad I had it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Looking at this list, I would love to see Destiny in like best score and music or something like that.
Yeah.
Because Destiny has incredible music.
Mm-hmm.
And it normally just ends up in like community support or ongoing game. But I would love to see the people who make Destiny music recognized in here because their music
Yeah.
is so good.
Yeah, the score is amazing in Destiny. Sound effects, everything.
It's a lot of Elden Ring.
Yeah, like best audio design: Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo 7, and Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, like why couldn't Destiny be in there?
Oh,
They
that
have
smooth jazz and Gran Turismo 7. That's the instant winner.
Just basically
so
get you
relaxed.
going.
Destiny has incredible audio design too, like of
Yeah.
their weapons.
It
And
No
is-
come
smooth
on,
jazz, though, Watts. No
come
smooth jazz.
on.
The audio design in Destiny, honestly, I don't. It's best. It's got the best stuff in
It's
there.
incredible. Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is.
For best score in music, it's Plague Tale, Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Metal Hellsinger, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Yeah. Some of these is like, okay, yeah, for sure. And then others is kind of like, was it?
We just throw it. We just
Yeah,
throw
we
it
just
in
throwing?
the popular games.
Yeah, just
just putting
chucking
them
them in for clicks. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, some of the nominations are a bit weird.
Like action game and putting Call of Duty Modern War. I mean, come on, that's just ridiculous. It's first person shooter.
I mean, you gotta get. There's
You gotta
a lot
get
of
them
advertising
clicks?
going on here. you gotta make sure the advertisers are happy, right?
Yeah, they probably spent some change. Got to get that return on investment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always like watching this, or at least reading the results.
Oh,
at the end of it.
I love watching it because
Yeah.
there are normally so many trailers, and one of my
That's true.
favorite things to do is experience that with other people, where you see something get shown for the first time, or
Yeah, just
when
get hyped
something.
the fuck
Oh,
up.
it's so good.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
good.
Or
Briar,
you're like, what the fuck is blood porn?
blood porn. Briar, I got a category that I need your honest feedback on. All right.
Yeah.
Best virtual reality / augmented reality game. For the
Yeah.
best experience playable in the virtual or augmented reality, irrespective of platform. First one, After the
Irrespective.
Fall. Second, Among Us VR. Third, Bone Lab. Bet
Bone
you're a
Lab
fan
wins.
of the Bone Lab. Fourth, Moss Book 2. And number 5.
I didn't play that.
Oh, yeah? Number 5 is Red Matter 2. Have you, of all
Bone
those,
Lab.
what have you played Bone Lab?
Yeah, Bone Lab's awesome.
Oh, man, I was just
Oh,
joking.
hey, there we go. There we go. Bone Lab.
What
Bone
is
Lab
Bone-
it is.
Yeah.
What is
I
Bone
will
I
Lab?
will
for
play
Bone
Moss
Lab.
2 though. Moss 1 was fantastic, so I will definitely play Moss 2. That came out like only on PlayStation 4 VR, I think, at first.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened with that. Something weird happened with the release of that game, and the developers were
think-
really upset that.
Wasn't it Sony was, one of the indie programs and Sony was funding it?
Yeah, but it's like, who's playing PlayStation VR
Nobody.
like 2 years after the PlayStation 5 came out? You know what I'm saying?
Nobody,
Like,
man.
It's just kind of like super weird.
What is Bone Lab? Tell me like a quick elevator pitch on what this game is.
It's fun with guns and action and physics.
Where does the bone come in?
Oh, you bring your own bone.
Bring your own bone to the Bone Lab?
Most anticipated game.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna ask you guys,
Yes.
what's your most anticipated game?
Oh, man.
Wolong Fallen Dynasty.
That's a good one. I'm looking forward to that too. That looks awesome.
Elden Ring DLC.
That's pretty good
Wild
too.
Hearts. Wild Hearts. I'm also super stoked for Wild Hearts.
Wild Hearts. I don't remember that one.
It's a monster hunting game by Koei Tecmo.
Isn't there already a game called Wild Hearts?
I think it's
Sounds, yeah.
what's it called?
It's like
I
a
can't
music
remember.
game.
Atomic Hearts or something like that.
I mean, so the list, mine would be Starfield, but I'm almost more curious. Like, is this like what is going to happen with
How
Starfield?
bad it's gonna be.
Well, I mean, so I loved
It might be
Fallout
great.
3. Like
Yeah.
Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, top 10 all-time games for me. They were so good.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, obviously you could see the flaws in them at the time, and it doesn't feel like that engine or those games have evolved tremendously over time. So to know that they're still using that engine for Starfield is incredibly worrying.
Yeah, it is.
But like the highs can be so high with
The
that.
highs
stuff.
can be so high. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can. It's you don't know what you're gonna get, right? It might
Yeah.
be a game that we play for the next 40 years, or it might be a game where we're like,
Or it could be Fallout 76.
Yeah, right.
Final
look-
Fantasy 16 is on there. That game looks fucking awesome.
Out of all of these, I would pick Final Fantasy 16
Yeah.
for sure.
Hogwarts Legacy. I'm not a pedophile, so I don't care. Resident Evil 4. I've already played it. Legend of Zelda Tears of
I would say
Kingdom.
Eric's is picking Legends of Zelda.
Yeah, I mean that's a good pick. I'm
Mhm.
not as big a fan of Breath of the Wild as he is. But
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what they do to
You enjoy it. Obviously.
innovate on that concept,
Yeah, I think Wolong is honestly pretty high up there. Looking at the list.
Oh, it didn't make the list.
It didn't. It didn't.
Some
make the list.
pedophile game made the list.
Man, people just don't. They do not respect Team Ninja. Jesus Christ. But
Team Ninja, makers of fantastic games like beach volleyball.
Yeah. You know what's great about actually, so it's very quick side tangent about Wolong. So they had the first demo that everyone played, and then you could submit feedback afterwards. And then they had another demo that people were invited to play, but that hasn't been publicly released yet. And all of the major pain points have already been addressed. Just
That's good.
and Team Ninja, Koei Tecmo, they're really good at that. Like when they do betas or whatever or demos, they are seriously asking for your input to help them make the game better.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, here's just an advertisement for our game. So I
Here's
love
the-
them
It was
for
just
that.
free on the PlayStation Store if you have PlayStation Plus too.
It
I
was,
don't know
yeah.
if it still is.
Yeah, I think Wolong for me. There's a lot of great games. I don't know. There's a lot of question marks as to how good
Yeah.
they're going to be.
Sure.
You know?
Of course.
Because like you said, like the Breath of the Wild, yeah, I played it. I'm gonna play a sequel for sure because I'm gonna be interested in it, but I don't know if it's my most anticipated. Like.
Here's a weird one. Best esports event. And it just has a list of events that happened in 2022. They got Evo.
What's the best
they
one?
They got the League of Legends World Championship, Major Antwerp 2022.
Okay.
2022 midseason. What are they judging on here? Like
how epic it was or something? I don't know. But like the League of Legends World Championship, genuinely,
Yeah.
I've never seen so many people on my timeline who like don't play League or played League a long time ago being invested in it, because there was just a really cool story with the teams, and the team that won, they were the big underdogs. And the series of games that they played were just like really close, crazy games. So genuinely, the 2022 League of Legends Worlds was really good.
Evo 2022 was good. 2022 was good, but I only watched Street Fighter stuff, and there was a bunch of other games. But I was hyped because they announced Street Fighter 6.
True.
But like, is this like when you buy a Hyundai Sonata, all you see on the road is, oh, look at that, there's another Hyundai Sonata. I've never noticed how many Hyundai Sonatas there are. Like the
only reason that I would
who watched all 5 of these?
The only reason I'd be confident saying Worlds this time is because people pretty unanimously were saying this is the best Worlds we have ever had. So it was like really an incredible Worlds out of all the Worlds that have happened, but I haven't seen all the others. So maybe there was something else going on.
Briar, another category I need your advice on. Best sports/racing. Okay, F1 22.
I like how the dude bro games are just in one category. Just put them away in the corner somewhere.
Sports/racing. F1 22, FIFA 23, NBA 2K 23, Gran Turismo 7, and Ollie Ollie World.
Ollie Ollie World.
Ollie Ollie World gets my vote because I finished that game and like I played it nonstop for the entire time I was playing it. Like it was just like the
fun.
Game I was playing
just
nonstop.
Fun,
It's
right?
so good.
Yeah.
FIFA 2022, I'm mad at because when I originally bought it, completely working on the Steam Deck, and then it got an update and it no longer works on the Steam Deck.
Wait, you actually play FIFA?
Like,
on
what
your
the
Steam
fuck?
Deck?
I bought the game. It was working on the Steam Deck.
You play soccer?
So now I got to sit in front of a
Steam
computer.
Deck?
I'm sorry, not FIFA. F1. F1 2022.
I was like, what the hell? I didn't
honestly, I didn't know Briar was into
soccer
FIFA.
as a sport.
Yeah, I was like, this sounds so
FIFA.
off-brand for you to suddenly be like a huge FIFA fan, being like, oh yeah, all these teams.
I am massive on the FIFA.
I like the cars that go zoom.
I feel like he panned his camera. He's got a poster of Ronaldo or something.
There's a jersey under that shirt.
Yeah, jersey.
I only have posters of soccer players' wives.
The Spice Girls. Got it. Yeah.
Good. I'm into the deep lore.
Yeah, Briar's like, if you notice my pinup posters of soccer wives, and it's just a picture of the Spice Girls from the 90s.
Yeah. Oh, man.
There's one category I need everyone to just listen to me about, and you will, because you don't care about the other people. Content Creator of the Year.
Yes, correct.
Nebellion is in there.
Never heard of him.
The guy who left Twitter, who did breaking news of games all 24 hours a day.
Briar's like, doesn't
he deserves everything. He deserves $1 billion. Jeff should give him some money too.
Donate 100 million.
Donate to the cause. Bring him back to Twitter so I know what the hell is going on in the gaming world. I have no idea what's going on without him.
He was the best source for immediate news, but he said it wasn't sustainable.
I mean, he there's not really a real way to make money through just posting really good Twitter content, and all of the journalists would check his Twitter to see what they should write about. So they were making money off of his work, and he wasn't making money off of it. So.
Yeah. Which, funny enough, Elon is trying to.
I don't know how coming up with the world's worst business model makes you content creator of the year.
Because he left.
He contributed to the community a lot.
He contributed massively to the gaming community.
Yep. Yeah. So interestingly, Elon is actually thinking about that, or at least he's tweeting about thinking about that. about getting people paid to make content on the platform or something.
With what money?
Yeah, exactly. With the advertiser money that is shriveling up extremely fast
with the company's money that he's driven into the ground due to his terrible verification systems.
Yeah, that one.
he's like, Papa Bezos, we're both rich guys. Can I also have some money?
Yeah.
Papa Bezos, please.
But it is strange. Like a lot of companies, you know, you got your Facebooks, your Instagrams, your YouTubes, your even TikToks and all that, have realized incentivizing content creators helps the platform grow. So they've done that, you know? Sure. And Twitter has basically abstained from that pretty aggressively. Like they opened up a thing to make a little bit of money from ad revenue. This was like a year or two ago or something like that. But it's like so late in the game in comparison to these other companies that are like, yeah, we need to stoke the fires of content creators making content because it makes the platform grow, makes people want to click on it, you know? So,
yeah.
Anyways, little rant right there.
I do, if we're done with Game Awards stuff, I do want to give you some news that came out today that may make you laugh and have faith in humanity.
Okay.
Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield have partnered up to create and deliver holy ears. Holy ears, edibles in the shape of an ear. Yeah.
All is right in the world.
That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I know. It's so good. And they're there in their little Christmas sweaters with their ears in front of them, having a great time.
Mike Tyson, everybody's favorite convicted rapist.
Not wrong. But they yeah, man, here's the where I saw it on Twitter. But yeah, it said, if I was on cannabis, I wouldn't have bit his ear, Tyson said.
Oh my gosh.
And then Holyfield said, I didn't think it was funny at first, but then I realized Mike hadn't been in trouble for a while.
Then I realized I could make a whole bunch of money on this. I'm laughing my way to the bank.
It's called Ear-E, which is their
Erie, nice.
Yeah. You can eat ears that are edibles and get high on ears.
Absolutely. Any other gaming news?
Yeah, that was something that's in our kind of wheelhouse that was announced today, and that is something called Project LLL. Don't know why it's called LLL, but so it is a open world MMO third-person shooter coming out on console and PC, created by NCSoft, who they have, helped create Guild Wars. So they do have experience in the MMO world. And they showed off a trailer today. Came out at I don't know when. Last night?
Recent?
Maybe it was last
night, yeah.
Very, very recent, yeah. It's set to launch worldwide in 2024.
Okay.
And they were just looking to make a different kind of genre to looter shooter or battle royale, so they went with MMO open world shooter. They said that the
like
open
a
world
guy shooter.
Don't think so. They said that the open world is more than 30 kilometers of land area seamlessly connected to a single environment, and it's being built on the latest Unreal Engine.
Wow. Okay.
It looks nice.
Yeah, it looks
nice.
It
does look nice.
If a little generic.
It is an MMO.
Yeah.
For me, these things hang on whether or not it feels good to just kill riffraff enemies, or just, a lot of MMOs are like stats and you're chunking damage off the enemy and they're doing like the same flinch animation over and over. So
there's mechs.
There's mechs. Yeah.
I'll put you guys the trailer in the live chat. But it also says that it's a sci-fi game, but you can also say that it's a subgenre of alternative history game, because it takes place with the idea that history progressed differently due to an event just going a different way. So it's set in...
It didn't say which event.
It says that it takes place in a devastated Seoul, Korea. The 10th century Byzantine Empire and the 23rd century are all blended together in the same lore.
Wow.
So
something we're not familiar with happened.
the Byzantine. Well, I don't know which event specifically they're talking about in the Byzantine Empire, or what happened in the 23rd century specifically, but or what will happen. But yeah, they cited the novels Foundation, Dune, and the works of Philip K. Dick as inspiration for the lore, and also Blade Runner. Blade Runner, Total Recoil, Recall, The Man in the High Castle are inspirations for the technology, human justice, and alternative history.
Cool.
Gotta see Total Recall again. The original, not the new one.
It's all right.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
I watched it recently.
The new one?
No, the old one, and then I watched the new one.
Yeah. Was the new one any good? I haven't even seen it.
It's not amazing, but it's entertaining. You know, kind of like the first one. The first one is like, well, this was entertaining, but not like. I mean, you know, except for Grotto.
There was a woman with three breasts.
Yeah, and in today's day and age, you can definitely tell it's a prosthetic. You know.
You can tell back then too.
Yeah, exactly. As a kid, I was like, "Whoa, with these movie technology, oh my god," you know. But now it's like, "Oh yeah, that's clearly yeah."
Guys, I completely forgot.
What?
There was a game that was announced that I lost my mind over, and it was over the weekend, so I just like completely forgot, or it was last week. I don't know, but it's called Project the Perceiver. They gave us 8 minutes of gameplay, story, like exploration, and this is their first time announcing the game with 8 minutes of gameplay, including the HUD and a full boss battle. So they're giving us a lot. But this is a parry game, so it's definitely a lot of parrying. But their thing is that when you fight enemies, you kind of collect their mask, and you can put the mask on and get the skill set of that enemy. So the more that you fight, you can switch between it in the middle of battle. And then they also showed a fight where your enemy was doing the same thing of switching between different masks in battle.
How many games are coming out next year or the year after that are like Japanese sword combat?
Well, this is Chinese, but hopefully every game, because then I'll like them.
There's definitely been a rush, but yeah, I'm up for it if it's good.
Yeah, and this game, it looks beautiful. I also I like the unique thing that they have with the different masks, and I like that I can fight a boss and be like, I'm gonna be able to turn into that guy after I.
Yeah, that's really cool. Cool concept.
And then you can switch between them. It's not just like selecting a class that you go with. You can switch between them in the middle of combat. I think it shows that, especially at the fight towards the end of the trailer, because it shows you switching and them switching between all the forms.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's like open world Sekiro with a twist.
Yeah. Yeah, Sekiro with the stance system is kind of, that reminds me of that in a way, but I'm sure it's a bit deeper. Right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. That definitely on the radar. Is that the show?
I'm trying to think if anything else happened. I don't think so. Oh, there is a game coming out tomorrow that I'm really interested in called Somerville. This is from the creators of Inside. They made their a new studio. It's coming to Game Pass, so you're gonna be able to play it for free if you have Game Pass. And it's just, they do really interesting games. They're very unique. The visual style is real unique, and the storytelling is all through like the environment and what's happening around you, which I do like environmental storytelling.
Nice, yeah.
But yeah, just it's a very unique looking indie game, and their other games have been fantastic, and I'm definitely gonna play it.
Cool, yeah. There's a game called Bravery and Greed that I saw Goth tweet about, and I was like, let me check this out. And it releases tomorrow, and it's like you can do
that comes out tomorrow too.
Yeah, you can do a couch co-op type of thing. Looks all pixel. I don't know. I might check that out as well, because I like things like that. Give a report back on next show. All right.
And I'll report on Somerville next.
Perfect. There you have it. Well, I guess that is episode 159 of DCP SideQuest. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate all the support. Last night we were watching Andor, and I thought
Me too.
I thought all 10 episodes was like the end.
Me too.
Turns out there's 2 more episodes.
We thought the
Wait, there's
same
2 more
thing.
episodes that aren't out yet?
Yeah.
There's 2 more episodes of Andor.
We can't start talking about this right now, but we have to save it for later because
I am
We
so
will save it
excited.
for later.
I am loving that series.
Yeah.
So
It's good.
let's save it for next episode or the 2 episodes
Okay.
after, whatever when it wraps
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Because I just want I want to talk about.
Yeah, I love it. I'm absolutely in love with the show. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there's 2 more episodes. Exciting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, no wonder I was at the end like, oh, a season 2, I guess.
Yeah, you're like cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And I look it up. I'm like 12 episodes a season. What? Next episode, the 16th. What? Oh my God, my world's collapsing. Yeah. Anyways, that's the episode. Thanks for watching SideQuest 159. Shout out to our Patreon members and our Twitch subs for supporting the shows on the feed. And we'll see you soon for DCP
Thanks,
Live in a few
guys.
days. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.